Good morning. My name is Pam Schenk, and I am serving as today's worship associate. As such, I have the privilege of extending a sincere welcome to all who are attending, those of you in person and those of you online. Welcome. Our congregation strives to be a welcoming place to everyone. We seek to embrace all the ways in which we are unique. We acknowledge that we have a variety of spiritual backgrounds and beliefs, or even non-beliefs. We see beauty in each other's skin and culture. We celebrate our gender expressions along the continuum, and we do our best to accommodate differences in perception and physical ability. If you are new here, we look forward to getting to know you. There are small guest cards in the pew racks that look like this that you may fill out and put in the offering plate later in this service to let us know how to contact you. Or you may research our website at uucleveland.org. As a congregation, we also acknowledge that we are gathering on the original lands of the Erie and of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, also known as the Three Fires Council. We recognize the need to learn more about these complex and sometimes painful histories, to care for the land we inhabit, and to show respect to the diverse peoples and cultures that preceded us, as well as those who are gathered now. As we begin our worship, please take a moment to silence your phones or other devices so that we may proceed without interruption. Today, for our chalice lighting, I invite Jess Levy, who serves on our board, and his daughter, Avery, and Avery tells me she is a budding artist in the 2nd grade, and as they light the chalice together, we will read our covenant together. Please read with me. That is printed on our yellow card. We cultivate trust with one another by celebrating differences, honoring boundaries, and offering compassion and care. We listen to each other deeply with curiosity and wonder. We speak for ourselves without the need to defend ourselves or persuade each other. We create safe and brave space for healthy conflict, creativity, and fun. We reconcile through forgiving and making amends when we hurt one another.
Awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity, it is immense, of your presence. Have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. Let's try this. Let's start again. Awaken to the mystery of being here and enter the quiet immensity of your own presence. Have joy and peace in the temple of your senses. Receive encouragement when new frontiers beckon. Respond to the call of your gift and the courage to follow that path. Let the flame of anger free you from falsity. May warmth of heart keep your presence aflame. May anxiety never linger about you. May your outer dignity mirror an inner dignity of soul. Take time to celebrate the quiet miracles that seek no attention. Be consoled in the secret symmetry of your soul. May you experience each day as a sacred gift woven around a heart of wonder. We are going to greet one another soon. But before you do that, you may want to find page number 318, because we will be singing that song right after we greet one another. Thank you. Good morning, front pew sitters. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning. George, how
Spirit of life, known by many names, yet by no name fully known, we gather today with hopes and dreams, and also with fears and wounds and concerns. If you're online joining us today, I invite you to put any joys or concerns that you want the congregation to know in the comments. If you're here in person, we have a book right here that we have some comments in that I will read, that you can put any joys or concerns that you want folks to know about, and we read those. We place a stone for the people in Iran for our great sorrow. We put in a stone for healing for Jan. This is Peggy Ligogny's sister. She is going through chemo. We put a stone in for good thoughts and love for those waiting for test results. And we put a stone in for great gratitude for those hosting and attending our gratitude gatherings. We all bring things with us into this space, and I invite you to come forward now if you would like and place a stone in the water. And if you're not coming forward to place a stone in the water, I invite you to take this time to send love and care to those who are coming forward, or as a time of quiet meditation.
There are numerous strings in your lute. Let me add my own among them. Then when you smite your chords, my heart will break its silence, and my heart will be one with your song. There are numerous strings in your lute. Let me add my own among them. Amidst your numberless stars, let me place my own little lamp. There are numerous strings in your lute. Let me add my own among them. In the dance of your festival of lights, my heart will throb and my life will be one with your smile. There are numerous strings in your lute. Let me add my own among them. You can sing along as the Spirit moves. There are numerous strings in your lute. Let me add my own among them.
We have additional comments. Kat's mother, Carol, is now recovered and just moved into a more permanent home. We express gratitude for her to start a new chapter. And Ryan's mom, we're putting a stone in for. And David, Jim, and Katie. We place a stone for those joys or concerns shared online today, and a stone for all those things that don't yet quite have a way to find expression. Spirit of life, we hope that in the sharing of our burdens with one another, that they become lightened, and in the sharing of our joys, that they become magnified. Help us to remember those who are not here with us today, those who need what we have found here, and those who have what we here need. May we always be open to growth and change, to movement, to grace. In the name of all that is holy and all the holy names that have ever been uttered, and maybe those that have not yet even been imagined, let us say, blessed be, Shalom, and amen.
Good morning. My name is Jenny Papp. I am the Director of Lifespan Faith Development for this congregation. Welcome to March. It's one step closer. It's worthy of applause. As someone said to me this morning, that hopefully this cool weather is not just fourth winter, but it appears to have come in like a lamb snuggled up cozily with its mother, maybe, to stay warm. But it is worthy or thoughtful of our theme. It's imagining the possibility. That's our theme this month for worship and for our religious exploration. Imagining possibility and the power that comes with that imagination. So I brought a few things with me today. I have something here. Anybody want to tell me what this is? What is that? A rock. Yeah. Anybody want to hold it for me for a minute? Come on. You can hold it for me. Can you describe it?
It's in a very unique shape.
A unique shape. Does it feel like a feather? No? It's a little heavier than a feather? Okay. So it's a rock. What does that rock want you to do? You don't know. Stones rocks, they don't really ask very much of us, do they? Thank you. Oh, wait, I was going to ask you to do something. Wait, come back, Nate. Will you go set it very carefully up there next to that plant? So they don't ask anything of us. We might not even notice rocks unless we stumble over it, or we start to carry it. And at first it's okay, and then we carry it longer and longer, and nothing has changed about the rock. But it's different. What else have I got in my basket? Oh, who wants to tell me what's in here? Leilani, what's in here? Come here, please. What do we have here? Beads. Can you describe them?
This one's red.
Red.
This one's
Glass. Any other descriptions?
Some are tiny, some differently.
Tiny and shaped differently. I think they're beautiful.
Some are shiny.
Yep, shiny. These are my favorites. They're so pretty. I don't know why I like those ones the best. So many beads. You put those back in there for me? Thank you. Oh, wait, I forgot to ask you too. I'm sorry. Will you put those back up there very carefully next to the rock? So the beads are kind of shiny. They catch your eye for a minute. doesn't really help much. They can distract us, but they don't really deepen our lives. I have some other last thing in my basket. What do you suppose these are? Anybody? George, what do you think these are? You can come here. Nope, they're not little rocks.
Seeds.
They're seeds. Yeah, wait, come here. There you go. You got some seeds in your hand.
They feel very cold and weird.
Curvy and weird. Okay. So they're tiny too, aren't they? Yeah, like if we were to drop seeds, they'd be kind of hard to find maybe later. Easy to overlook, right? You can hold them or put them back in. Which do you want to do? Hold them? Okay. Can you put this jar very gently up on that without knocking that plant over? Is that possible? Thank you. Tiny, but they hold possibility. Of those three things we've put up there, those seeds really hold some possibility. Thank you, George. Now, before I came in here this morning, I already knew what I was going to say to you, and then as I went into my office, I did the thing that I often do, which is turn on the lights and put some water in my plants. And so I'm going to take a slight sidetrack, because this was in my mind. And when I started working here about a year and a half ago, somebody who carefully cares for our plants had trimmed some of the plants and thrown the cuttings that really were not have much in the way of leaves in the trash. And so I went, I could use some plants in my office. Maybe I can grow some plants. So I took those tiny cuttings and I found some vases and I stuck them in some water. That was a year and a half ago. This is the biggest, but I now have 3 plants in my office and 2 at home from the stems I pulled out of the trash a year and a half ago. That plant started out as a seed. So the seeds, the plants, if we pay attention to them, we add some other things to its world, some water, give it some light, some care and attention, it becomes something living, something alive, something that gives back, that becomes more than what it was. Plants give us a lot more things. Large plants give us shelter. They clean the air for us. They can feed us. So we get to choose where we put our energy and attention. What happens when we pay attention only to the stones in our way or the ones we've been given to carry? These unchanging, kind of heavy things. Or maybe what happens when we pay attention to the shiny beads, the distractions that pull our focus, slightly satisfying, but they don't help us grow. And then what happens when we pay attention to the seeds, the gifts, the possibilities that we've been trusted with? Possibility grows then, if we pay attention to the possibility. When a community pays attention, those gifts multiply. Every smile, every song, every welcome, every justice project, every worship service, these are the seeds that we tend and plant together. So today, in this community built on love, courage, strength, I'll say righteousness. I wonder, what gifts do we have to share with one another? What could you plant this week? What might flourish among us as we tend to those gifts that we share? Maybe you'll get a beautiful plant. Thank you. Thank you for your help.
I'd like to share some information about today's offertory recipient. Drum is an easy way to refer to diverse and revolutionary Unitarian Universalist multicultural ministries. Drum is the oldest and largest Black, Indigenous, and people of color, or BIPOC, collective in the Unitarian Universalism. It was formed in 1997 to advance an anti-racist, intersectional, multicultural faith. I knew nothing about Drum before preparing for today, and I was impressed while researching their website and noted their many gatherings, allyship training events, public worship, a monthly newsletter that's put together so lovely, and a short video. And the video begins with a song that we've sung from our teal hymnal called We Are, and I just want to sing the very first part of it. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. It's a perfect backdrop as the video goes on to describe the mission of Drum that celebrates the many ways in which our cultures influence our faith journeys, seeks to build community, and to amplify voices that enrich our wider UU world. For Black, Indigenous, and people of color, Drum strengthens their connections to UUism, so they do not feel alone, which in this current harsh political climate is of particular importance. Please consider giving generously by placing your check or cash in the plate as it passes, or you may contribute electronically, directing Zelle contributions to donate@uucleveland.org, or direct Cash App contributions, I think we're still doing, to $UUCC 44122. Please indicate on the memo line if your contribution is for today's plate, your annual pledge, or something else. Today's reading is from Embers, 1 Ojibwe's Meditations by Richard Wagamese. 3 strands in a braid of sweetgrass. They represent 3 spiritual qualities, maybe love, kindness, humility. When I smudge myself, I purify myself in those qualities. I prepare myself for my day with the strength of those spiritual qualities. The smoke clings to my hair, my clothes, and it remains in the air of my home. As I move through the day and smell that fragrance, I am reminded of how I have chosen to live. And in that is the power of greeting each day with reverence, calm, and prayer. That is how I learn to direct my community toward peace, equality, and harmony. One day, one person, one circumstance at a time.
It used to be that when I drove from my home in Akron to the congregation in Worcester every week, I would listen to Krista Tippett, and out the window went the sermon I had just written, because she would always say something more important than what I had just put in there. Well, I wasn't driving at that time this morning, but I had the nerve to open up the Awaken calls. It's on Service Space, and it comes on the computer. And they're behind Daily Good and a number of spirituality-centered, worldwide outlooks on what possibilities are. And out went the sermon. That doesn't mean you have to listen to 2. It's, I promise, out went the one. So I learned about these 2 guys who do, they're computer experts, but they're entrepreneurs. So Evan Sharp is the person behind Pinterest at the very beginning. So Evan Sharp was in the architectural school at Columbia at a time when the library would close at 4 in the afternoon. Can you imagine? But it would close at 4 in the afternoon. And so all the students who needed to resource the pictures in these huge books that they needed for study and completion, they would take pictures of them and then they would take them home. And one thing led to another, and there were thousands and thousands of pictures, and so he got the bright idea to create Pinterest. And he did. And what he came to the conclusion, as he noticed that there were 500 million people each month that were going onto the Pinterest site, was that there was a longing underneath it. The word inspiration came to him. Literally, breathe in the Spirit. And then this is the recollection that he came to. He said, we build these unbelievable superpowers, and we're talking about everything now, including AI, that brings us closer together and might separate us a little bit. We build these unbelievable superpowers, but the process of initiation, of being held by elders with wisdom and belonging, never ever happened. It's like we start from the ground up instead of having the rootedness that's beneath us. And so he left Pinterest and he went and studied the Tibetan books and he started to garden. And he realized the wisdom traditions we do have, they're the only ultimate technology on the earth. They're grounded. We dig for them. They've been here forever. We share them. The second guy is Biz Stone, and he's the guy behind Twitter. Hold your breath. It's not going to be bad. He worked for Google. He left before the big expansion, so he didn't make the best economic decisions at the time. He walked away from a fortune. But he co-founded Twitter, and one afternoon accidentally invented the follower count. Never once considering the effect it has for a person's name to have a number beside it. Just pause with that for a minute. Go through history. That's terrible. Years later, he offered 5 words. He came back to help fix it. He came back and he offered 5 words. We serve the public conversation. We serve was deliberate. We serve the public in helping them to communicate. He left that, and together they just formed something from the West Company, and the first app is called Tangle. And the daily question is, what's your intention? This is just a really neat business plan I want to share with you. Each morning, the team lights a candle at an ancestor table, and the silence precedes the meetings. Can you imagine that? Then their resident scholar of ritual, I'm kind of liking this company, teaches mindfulness not as productivity, but as grounding, of being really there, of being all of the resources being really there. And what the resident scholar of ritual says is, slow down, take a breath, think about what you are really doing, and don't break things, especially human things. What a neat business plan. So that was done, and I had already read Liz Buchar, who featured more in the sermon before I listened. You know how this goes. So Liz Buchar does a posting. She does a Substack. She teaches at Northeast in Boston, and she is a professor of religion, but she's also a spiritually but not religious kind of person. That kind of makes you like her a little bit, right? She is confronting a world in which religion, and there are religious influencers on the web all the time. You know, try this, try this, try this, try this. This will get you there. This will get you to your goal. And she just kind of pulls her hair out, and she doesn't have much of it in the first place. And she says, religions never have been simple repositories of unchanging truth. I think of them more as living conversation partners. Isn't that great? Resources with modes of interpretation, conceptual frameworks, communities of practice. So the picture that came to immediately was the Babylonian Talmud. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's like all over the place. It's like every new group of Hebrew scholars come and sit with the original Talmud and write in the corners and all around the sides, because they're living with it. What does this mean today? What did it mean then? What were they conveying? It's just fabulous. Because Buchar continues, because we are hungry for meaning, for practice that connect us to something larger, but we're getting restless. We want more than this. We just have to be willing to get in the water, not just dip our toes. Whole different religious experience. It is now Ramadan. Ramadan here and Ramadan in the desert. All day, sun shining, no water, no food. Who would become part of that religion? That's so hard. However, the purpose of Ramadan is a beautiful religious word, taqwa, the mindfulness of God. Taking that time of, this is what I'm not going to do during the day, but it's going to invite me deeper. And at the very end of the day is the shared meal. The meal where we are in community and we share something that feeds us, but so does that community. And in the middle of the not eating all day, we're brought to empathy of, oh, this is what hunger feels like. We are brought to wider understanding what is really important to me, and we are brought to understanding our own emotions, because Ramadan doesn't count if you're yelling at people all day because you're hungry. You're not getting the point. You have to work on it. That's wrestling with religion. My favorite character in the Hebrew Bible is Israel. He started as Jacob. He wrestles with God. He wrestles with the angel. It puts his hip out. He limps the rest of his life. But he wrestles. I love that wrestling. Religion is about wrestling, but always in the best ways. Who am I now? Where am I? Who's in this with me? What can I learn from all other people? Finally, we get to the parable of the talents. I'm sorry. That was where we were supposed to start. Oh, God, how much time have we wasted? The parable of the talents is in the Christian Gospels, the 25th chapter of Matthew. And it's a good one. If you have an afternoon, sit down with it, because it's a great section of religious literature. It's the one with the 10 bridesmaids. I'm going to call them bridesmaids instead of virgins, which is what the text says in English. Because they're the ones that everybody gets. There are 10 of them, and they all get the same amount of oil, and some of them use it up, and they don't have enough, and then the bride and the groom come, and, it's like, think ahead kind of thing. But it also has the parable of the talents in it. And we think of that as this great Wall Street action. So the landholder goes away, and he has talents, which are actually like, you could compare them to gold bullion, and they're very, very heavy, and every one of them represents like a wages for 20 years. And the landholder gives 10 to one of the servants, and gives 5 to another servant, and gives 1 to the last servant, and goes away, and tells them to do with that as they will. Goes away, you know the story, goes away, comes back. He says, what did you all do with this? The one with 10 says, I've invested this in and I have doubled your amount. And so does the middle one. And the last one says, I know your anger. You scare me to death. I went and buried it. And that makes the landowner so mad, he blows up. He does have a temper, and says, you go give that to the person who had 10. And we think of that as investment. This is what we do. This is what we do. But in actuality, in the Hebrew tradition, those talents, that gold bullion, is what is placed not in gold bullion form, but that is made up into cherubs and the covering where the Ark of the Covenant is kept, that most sacred artifact, that stones where the 10 Commandments are listed, that thing that holds people together and tells them, it's like our covenant, which cannot be touched. And what we're talking about in the midst of this is mercy, because that is called the table of mercy. Think about, someone gives you all this stuff, all this mercy, and you have to spread it out. How much mercy do you have? Not mercy like, do whatever to me you want to me, I'll just lie down and you can roll over. Not that. Mercy, genuine mercy. We all have issues. We all do. And we all need one another's mercies. And my favorite Hebrew word from the Hebrew Bible is chesed. Would you say that with me? It'll bless the whole service. Chesed. It reminds me of that experience when a Jewish child has honey placed on their tongue when they first speak Hebrew. It's that kind of word. It is the loving mercy of God. Okay, now we get to what are we doing here in the first place, because I know we have to be out of here soon. And Lou's right after me, and God knows I don't want to use up Lou's time. So it's Stewardship Sunday, so I want to thank you. You all knew that, so I want to thank you for being here. I had semi-retired for a while, and so I have an idea of what else you can be doing on a Sunday morning. I'm very glad you're here. Thank you. And what I want to say to you is, I want more than your money. Your money's fine, but I want more than that. I want your presence. I want your openness. I want your questions and your ideas and your loving kindness. I want those things that hold a congregation together. And above anything else, I want your curiosity. I want you to just need to know what's inside another person's heart. Not so that you're pushy, but because that's how we grow and become the full human beings that we are. And the more we understand, the more effective we are in the world around us. I want it all, folks. Because this place, if you have a building or if you don't have a building, you'll still be here and you will still be blessing the city of Shaker Heights and the city of Cleveland and more. Because you will be you with the chesed and with the taqwa, with the talents, with the understanding, with the bridge building. Because that's who you are. And that will only grow. And blessings on you. And blessings on Lou, who's about to talk about generosity.
Thank you, Reverend Elaine. That was really moving. I appreciate it. George Bernard Shaw said that he was an atheist, but he thanked God for it for every day. I also want to thank everyone for being here, for being at UUCC, for making this building a house where a community lives, breathes, grows, and takes action. Greed is alive in the land, and there are two cures for greed. One is gratitude, and one is generosity. And I recently found myself reflecting on the state of our community, where I live, and the congregation here with which I affiliate, as we initiate on March 1st our annual stewardship campaign, a great opportunity to show gratitude and generosity. I recall hearing on the radio, and I don't know how many of you remember the radio when you're outside your car, that you don't have a democracy. According to this NPR podcast, we do democracy. In a democracy, we have to get a bunch of transitive verbs together, like we write, we read, we learn, we speak out, we stand up, we show up, we collect signatures, we vote. There's lots of verbs. So what about us here in this congregation? Can we make a transitive verb out of congregation? How does a congregation that envisions itself a large, warm, welcoming community act, what do each of us do? I'm so glad you asked. In my humble opinion, we lead with our hearts. We get our head due north of that. This requires a backbone, not a wishbone. And you draw a line from your head through your heart down to your feet so you know where to stand, and you reach forward and your hands will know their work. And if they don't, I think we have to call Laurie because she knows what to do. Seymour Saracen, a hero of mine, taught that when people come together in a marriage, in a school, in a business, a nonprofit, in any intentional community, that community becomes more than the sum of its parts. That the spaces in between the people who have this good intention create a sacred space where the work of becoming human is done, where we become better people, we become better citizens, we become better neighbors. So, I'm asking you, please, attend the gratitude gatherings that you've been invited to. Let's bring the people of this intentional, covenantal congregation together. Let's celebrate those connections. Let's share our victories and our vulnerabilities. And as Katie Paris of Red Wine and Blue said right downstairs about 2 or 3 months ago, when they go low, if you have any trouble knowing who they is, see me after this service. When they go low, we go local. So let's stand up. Let's step forward. Please answer the call to stewardship. Let's give our time, contribute our talent and skill, and pledge our treasure to support our staff, to warm our church, to sing our songs, teach our children, and make lots of coffee. If not us, who? If not here, then where? And if not now, when? Thank you.
We've got a song, and we sound really good when we sing. So let's stand up and get into that energy. There is one announcement that I received for today, and I'm still getting a ring. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Cleveland has had a partnership with FDR Pre-K through 8 Academy in Glenville for 9 years, offering a variety of activities, everything from Disney musicals to tutoring to teacher supplies, and much more. We have also raised funds to support the 8th graders' spring trip to Washington, D.C. I think we all know what a pivotal life experience that is. This year, the cost of the 3-day trip for both classes and 4 adults is $33,600. Mackenzie Scott donated money to the district for students' experiences, and they have secured at least $23,000 from this source, and are hoping for additional support from other partners, such as us. The per-pupil cost of the trip without support is $700. Whatever money we raise is money that FDR parents will not have to contribute. We will be receiving your donations to this effort from this Sunday in coffee hour through Sunday, March 22nd, as the trip is scheduled for April 8 to 10. Please see Mary Ellen McNulty and Lori Albright in the Fellowship Hall right after the service for more information. And thank you for supporting FDR 8th grader families. Well, it's me again, Pam, honestly. Another substitution. Ralph Waldo Emerson is listed. Great guy, contributed so much to us. But there's another great guy named James Luther Adams, who was a Baptist and became a Unitarian Universalist and taught at theological schools in Chicago. And this is what he said to us as Unitarian Universalists. What we need in life is a safe place, a place where we can go practice behavior, a place where we can be confused and angry as well as happy and giving. And it's a safe place where we practice becoming our best selves. What's any better way is there to describe a congregation? We have been that. May we continue to be that.
Jess and Avery, would you like to come extinguish our flame, please? No, just Jess? Okay. Please find your yellow card where it says extinguish the chalice, and we will read that together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.